Today I have part 4, the final part of this mother and artist intersection series, and I hope that you really enjoy it. My old identity really hadn't gone anywhere. It had just evolved and morphed into this like really new, nuanced, textured, layered version that it was before. I feel like it almost opened like this door to my emotions that wasn't open before, and I feel like I just experienced things in such a different intensity than I ever had before. And I think that I really took a lot of things for granted maybe before that I didn't realize I was so lucky to have. I feel like my emotions have definitely evolved in a way that I never really understood before having kids. I realized that when I'm trying to teach them to deal with their emotions, that there are certain ways that I've been dealing with my own emotions that are not productive, not helpful, and are really probably just making the problem 10 times worse. And through mothering my little babies, I have really had to help them understand why they might feel certain ways and help give them strategies to understand like certain anxieties or certain fears and how to channel them into play and understanding, and help them use certain like calm down techniques or like help them calm their bodies. And I think that this is really reflected in my studio practice, because I think that I was going through a really tough time when I was having my really bad fibro flare-up last year. And for me, I really had to look at the way that I was really calming my own self down when I was like freaking out about how my body was failing me, is what it felt like, whereas it really wasn't. It was trying to tell me something. How I taught myself to calm my body down through my art, and how to use my art in almost a meditative way so that I could just really get these emotions out, get these feelings out in a very experiential, physical way, and really teaching my body to calm down and go back to homeostasis. And I really learned this from teaching this through my kids and through having studio time with my daughter, and seeing how when she was a bit dysregulated, how coming into the studio together could really help her channel and signal to her body that it was safe and okay to feel these emotions, and that not to be scared of how her body's feeling or how her mind is feeling, how to just really notice these feelings and be comfortable in these feelings and just honor them for what they were. And I found that when I would do coloring or when I would come and paint with her, she would really get into this zone of like calm, really empowered state, because she realized she was making all the choices. I let her pick everything she wanted to do in the studio, and her realizing that she got to make the choices, I think really helped her to understand that in her art she gets to make the choices, but in her life she gets to make the choices too. And in her body, she is not a victim of how she feels. She gets to choose how her body feels, and she gets to physically say, I want my body to calm down now, so how am I going to do that? And from teaching her these huge concepts, I think that I really learned some skills that I was lacking myself about how I can channel these feelings into my art studio practice, how I can choose how I want to feel, how my body feels, and how I can take control of that and really use it to my advantage rather than letting it destroy my whole day. And this was a really huge lesson that mothering has taught me, and it's really impacted my artwork on so many levels, and it's really pushed it to a new level. And without being a parent, without teaching another person this from childhood, I don't think I ever would have understood that as well. And I don't think that I would have learned to just be looking for so much beauty in my art and looking to really add more beauty into the world, because this world can be a scary, dark, daunting place a lot of the time. And if all I did for that day was add a bit of beauty in, that is enough for me. And it's really cool to be giving that message to my child from such a young age, because I think if maybe I had learned how to regulate my emotions a little bit better from a younger age through using my art, I think that it really would have helped. I think I was doing it for a long time without understanding quite what I was doing, so I wasn't connecting the dots, essentially. And once I connected the dots, it made so much more sense, and I think it really impacted the artwork that I created and the level of authenticity that it had, and even just the appreciation that I had in the art practice, and the appreciation that I had for art in my life, and for understanding how much it really helped me, and how being a mother really channeled that and triggered that and allowed me to transform in that way. So being a mother really strengthened and deepened my emotional response and my understanding of my emotions, and just the way that I show up in the studio every time. It really deepened my perspective on what's important in life and what I want the world to see from me and what I want to show and put out into this world. And it was a huge perspective shift once I started trying to see the world through a child's eye. I have told this story before, but I used to go on these, I would call them little toddler walks with my son when he was about 18 months or less. And he and I would just walk around our neighborhood, and I would let him 100% guide where we went. We were not on any time crunch. We just walked, and whatever took his fancy, whatever interested him, he would go and look at, and I would really try to look at it through his eyes. And the things that he would notice, the things that he would pick up on, the things that he would delight in were really so interesting to me, because they were things that were so mundane and not that beautiful from my mind's eye at that point in time. And then once I started trying to look at the world from his perspective, I think it really changed a lot for me, like just looking at a simple leaf and how beautiful it can be. And my daughter taught me this as well, but I think I didn't take the time to really lean into it as much with her. So when I was on leave with my son, and I was able to lean into that more because things were just so different by that point, yeah, it really transformed what I saw in the world, how I saw the world, and how I wanted to depict the world. Because that's all art really is it's a reflection of how you depict the world, how you see the color, the light, the textures, the shapes, everything that you see. All your artwork is a depiction of your point of view. So sometimes you have to change your point of view to see something different, and that is exactly what I did when I started looking at the world through a childlike perspective. And it made a huge difference in the things that I appreciated in the world and the way I showed up in the world, and therefore the way I showed up in my art practice. Because as I said, for me, my art practice and my motherhood are not these islands of my personality. They are one island together, and they directly inform each other all day, every day, and I could not have one without the other, and I could not have the other without the one. So that's what I have for you today. I hope that this resonated with you, and I hope you got a lot out of this video. And if you did, please, I would love to connect with you in the comments, and please subscribe so that you can follow along for more chats like this. I hope you have a wonderful day today. I hope you have some time and space in your day to create something beautiful in this world that was not here this morning. And if not, maybe go take a nap. Okay, I'm sending you so much love. Bye.